So this can be in a series of what it's like suffering from species alienation. MSP Health BC, in Canada, they want me to invest in the medical system and pay fees, for services they don't deliver and for what I documented as being horribly poor service, and yet nobody wants to diagnose me with species alienation. I just renewed an application to work for Statistics Canada in census, and I chose to write, and I highlighted in a screenshot what part of that definition to disclose disability. And the disability is living in a way where I believe that employers won't give me jobs as much as somebody else. And if somebody asks me, when I think legally they're not supposed to, but I don't have a problem doing it, but it'll make me not get the job, to be honest. It'll be, what is your disability? My disability is that you suffer from HSD. What do you mean, you what? And I say, well, the norm suffers from a variety of human domestication syndromes. Okay, so you want to be a supervisor? Okay. So, that's, so what just happened is the proof that what I wrote in my application is true and honest, right? I won't get the job. So again, you think I'm nuts and I think you're nuts. So I won't get this job, even though I do a good job and I was honest and ethical. So they just think something's wrong with me. So suffering from species alienation is having levels of sentience and sapience that are way above the norm that suffers from HSD. So, and of course, my species alienation gets worse as my levels of sentience and sapience rise and the norm's levels of HSD rise. So, but again, I've developed strategies to cope. So even though there's more triggers, I suffer more, I suffer less because I'm finding the cure on my own. It's not like doctors actually want to acknowledge this because it means looking at reality more closely. It's not something they're comfortable doing, which again is proof that my disability is that you suffer from HSD. So I'm laughing about it, and that's one of my cures for species alienation is I can have fun describing what's wrong with you, even though it causes a lot of hardships on me. So I'm watching news about Africa and the volcano. So in the Congo. So I've been there. The people there are the same as the people here, or in Japan, or in South Korea, or in Norway. They're the same. They suffer from HSD everywhere. Of course, there's slight variations based on, let's say, indoctrination from religions, from domestication in the monetary paradigm instead of the natural world, the real world, all these things. But it's easy to predict how they're going to act. So I'm watching this, right? And I can imagine scenarios of your species that are pretty much true, okay? Large sums of money are going into the United Nations, but never reaching efficiently people in ways that solve problems in the long term, right? And because of the way that the money is being used, when it does, the tiny bit that's left over to reach the populations, it's being used in ways that is counterproductive. So I can imagine a scenario where there's a large amount of people trying to go faster than this lava or these toxic gases following them, and then they reach border after border. And then, oh no, the customs people, some didn't show up, they were sick today, but really, there's like a lava and toxic gas coming. And the other ones aren't deviating. Oh no, I've got to fill out the form, got to do it like this. The lava's getting closer. Some people might try to take a bus, and their life is at stake with their kids. The bus driver sees the lava coming. Oh no, that's the fee, and no, we can't. And then they reach there, oh, that's not the right paperwork. And then when the toxic gases, the natural world doesn't acknowledge the people-primate barriers between, your imaginary nations, and the customs guys will put masks maybe of, that they've been given, probably the wrong ones, but they're not scientifically inclined to know. And again, they say, no, we care about you, we want to help. It's just that we got to go through this paperwork in this way. And then people are dying and dying and dying. This is you, okay? So if I was there, it'd be like, oh my God, the triggers of my species alienation of watching your nonsense and innocent people dying. And some kids would be totally dehydrated, but no, this guy just knew there'd probably be another eruption, so he bought all these bottles of water to make a profit. No, I'm sorry. Just, just give me your watch or something, and which is good. It's burning on the person's arm. Sure, give it away. So it'll break and burst a second later, right? It's getting more and more toxic. But no, gotta make a profit on this bottle of water. Yes, I know your kid looks dehydrated. He can't stand up. You're lifting him up and he's falling. Yes, I know. Well, this is you as a species, okay? And this is an extreme scenario. But if you have advanced sentience and sapience and you evaluate even Canadians here on a regular day, is you're observing the same thing. And what's very, very scary that you guys still don't realize with this COVID-19 thing, at the levels, if some of you talk about it, at the levels that it's even worse, is that you guys can't cope with anything that's not a regular day. You just want to get back to your normal insanity and not prepare yourselves or your kids for what's coming that's worse. I just put a posting on my Facebook about Brazil. I just put another one about, a supposed university teaching a Humanics program when it isn't. I just post ideas of things you should be working on. I share these. I create ideas and solutions and culture repairing projects, and I give them to you, and I share, and sometimes there's thousands of views. Nothing budges. You guys are so unable to do what your ancestors were capable of doing, like, for example, in the last ice age, to survive. You're so complacent. And the more you develop what you believe is power in the cults of money or politics or business or religions, is the more you become useless as leaders to save yourselves, your loved ones, and the populations you swore to serve. So this is what it's like suffering from species alienation. Is I care, I know how to help, I'm not able to, and I'm a witness to these cruel acts that you do among yourselves as people primates. Without learning, having this gigantic brain, but not wanting to learn or program it properly. This is who you are as a species, and this is who I am. I'm proud, but it hurts to be me.